So good evening, it's 7 o'clock. Welcome to everyone. There are some of us who are at the municipal building right now, but we are in different areas. And there are some folks who are participating from home. And so welcome to everyone. There are no changes to the agenda. Having said that, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would like to make an,
Please.
before we begin, I just want to announce that the mayor and council did hold an executive session on May 17th to discuss matters pursuant to the Sunshine Act.
Here's my glasses.
Just
So, Mayor Calabrese,
present.
Councilman Petrucci,
Present.
Councilman Getzey,
Present.
Deputy Mayor Sapp,
Present.
Councilman Pecora.
Present.
May I get a motion for the approval of the minutes?
Mayor Calabrese,
Yes, Deputy Mayor Sapp.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the minutes from April 20th, 2020 council meeting.
May I get a second?
Second.
Councilman Petrucci,
Yes.
Councilman Getzey,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sapp,
Yes.
Councilman Pecora,
Yes.
Mayor Calabrese.
Yes. May I get a motion for the ratification or approval of the expenditures?
Mayor Calabrese,
Yes, Deputy Mayor Sapp.
I make a motion that we accept the ratification approval of the expenditures.
May I get a second?
Second. Second.
Any public comment? Any board comment? Roll call?
Councilman Getzey,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sapp,
Yes.
Councilman Pecora,
Yes.
Mayor Calabrese,
Yes.
Councilman Petrucci.
Yes.
Mr. Njacek? I'm sorry, was someone speaking? Do you want to note for the record that there's been an approval?
Yeah, the expenses were approved unanimously.
Okay, thank you. So now, as we have been doing since we're doing this remotely, now would be the time for public comment on any of the agenda items. If there's anyone in the public who has any comment on any of the agenda items, now would be the time.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, hi. I wanted to comment on Resolution 7C. I wasn't sure if this was the time to comment on it or I should wait till the board's point to vote on it.
Yes, Yes, sir. Now is the time. And if you could please state your name and your address.
Sure. My name's Tony Moscatello. I'm actually one of the bidders on the project. My company name is Osiris Enterprises, and the reason I am speaking to council is I want to make sure they were aware of all the possible alternatives to the basis of award. As it sits now, the resolution is to award the bid to Solely Construction, but I want to make council aware of the fact that the bid was bid as a base bid with 7 add alternates. My base bid and the total of all alternates was $348,000 and some change, approximately $51,000 lower than the next bidder, Solely Construction, at $399,800, and that's Solely's bid for the base bid and all the add alternates. Additionally, my base bid and all the add alternates is $31,000 and some change under the engineer's estimate. Now, the way it's being brought to council now to award is a combination of the base bid plus add alternates 3, 4, 5, and 6. I have the reasoning for the award in this manner, instead of not awarding all the add alternates, is, give me a second here, and I'm going to quote from an email from Rick. PH intended to do all of the add alternates, but we do not have the approved permits back from the regulators for the 3 stream related alternates. So we are not going to be able to award them, as all we have are the applications for the permits. Until we get the approved permits, we won't know the specific requirements. We expected the permits to be approved by the award, but they are not, apparently due to the COVID-19 crisis. We are still engaging in communications to answer questions regarding the 3 general permits, and we aren't going to receive the permit approvals in time to make the awards. Next paragraph. The DEP could make significant changes to the site plans and requirements in the contract related to these alternates, resulting in more work and higher costs for the contractor. Since these alternates are strictly lump sum bids and are based on a defined work scope, we must wait to complete these repairs until after we receive the permits. Now, the issue with that is, pardon me?
Could you please conclude your comments? We do have a 3-minute rule in effect.
Okay, well, all right, this is completely belied by addendum 2, which states this is a mandatory pre-bid meeting minutes. Add alternates number 1, number 2, and number 7 are in stream pricks. The required DEP permits have been submitted by the engineer, and these applications will be provided to the contractor to prepare his or bid. If the final permit requirements are significantly different than the submitted application, the contractor has the option to revise his price, and the owner has the right to option to cancel the repair completely, which is completely contradictory to Rick's email. So I guess what I'm asking is for council to reconsider this award based on the numbers and based on the stated reasons. And also want to let council know, if the council intends to award it to Solely, I'm not going to stand in the way. All I'm asking is the consideration. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question, though. Are you saying that because you said you were about $50,000 less, did you mean to say more than what is written on here? And when you start to consider the add-ons, it's comparable?
No, I am $50,000 lower if you do all the add alternates. Is what I'm saying. What is on the motion before council is not to do all the add alternates, it's to do add alternates 3, 4, and 5, and 6.
Mr. Messman,
Right.
are you? Sorry,
Yes.
are
And
you prepared to
Mr.
answer that now, or do you need time?
No, I'm prepared. Mr. Muscatello is correct. When we had the pre-bid a while back, a couple months ago, we intended to have the permits back from DEP. And so we're not even close. Normally, in this situation without COVID, we have a good indication by now if anything's going to change in the application. So we submit applications to the DEP for getting into the stream in 3 permits for 3 of these ad alternates. They each require a permit. We're still negotiating back and forth with the regulators as to what they're requiring, and it's taking a long time. So we just thought that it would be best to remove those ad alternates, those 3 repairs that we do not have a permit for, take them out altogether because we're not close to getting permits. We don't know what they're going to require. And if we award these and they are changed significantly or even a little bit, then we can't force the contractor to implement the price that they gave us. So now we're going to have 3 change orders for these 3 contracts. So it just seemed messy and cumbersome and possibly expensive. So we said, look, let's just award everything except these 3. And then if and when we get the permits, we'll implement these in the future as needed. So that was the logic behind just awarding the alternates that were awarded.
Can I address that comment? May I address
Sure.
that comment, please?
Sure.
Yeah, that's, I understand what Rick's saying, but they addressed this contingency in the mandatory pre-bid meeting minutes. Again, I'll quote, if the final permit requirements are significantly different than the submitted application, the contractor has the option to revise his price and the owner has the option to cancel the repair completely. Again, it's been addressed, that contingency.
Except that you're forgetting the basic assumption, and what you read regarding the pre-bid is assuming the alternates are awarded. If the alternates were awarded and the permits did change the scope of work, you would have had the opportunity to negotiate, and what I'm assuming, a higher price. So the fact that we did not award the alternates voids the comment in the pre-bid meeting, because the pre-bid meeting comment assumes that the alternates are awarded. So we've chosen not to award the alternates, so the comment in the pre-bid meeting is void. It
Yes, but
doesn't.
the rationale you gave in your email, which I could provide counsel, contradicts this statement.
No, I think you've read them both, and the statement in the pre-bid was, you would have the option as the winning bidder to change your price if the permits come in differently. My point is that we're not awarding those, so there would be no option to change your price for the ones that we don't award. So it's best.
You're saying you're not awarding them because you're worried about the permits coming back with a higher work scope and a change order. What I'm saying is your stated reason is contradicted by the mandatory pre-bid meeting minutes.
I was just trying to give you a courtesy background as to what was behind the intent. I could have just said, we're not awarding them. I tried to explain to you so that you would understand, not that so that you would use it against us. So you can't use it against us. I know you're upset you didn't win the bid. I've made the recommendation to council. It's in their best interest. That's all I can say. Council can choose to do whatever they want, but I'm just letting you know what my recommendation is and why.
And I just wanted to make sure council was aware of all the facts and the numbers and the intent as per your email to award all the alternates and the basic contradiction in terms.
Well, things change over time too. The pre-bid meeting was a couple months ago, and then since the permits didn't come in or look like they were even close to coming in, we just decided to not award those and avoid the very thing that you're talking about, which is arguing about how much the additional cost would be. So this was the cleanest way. It certainly is the prerogative of council to award the alternates this way. So that's where we are. And I'm sorry if you don't like the explanation, but it is what it is. And I think it's fairly clear. So if you have any more questions, council, I can answer them.
Okay. Any questions or comments from council? Or I'm sorry, before I move on to council, any more public comment on that particular issue? Any public comment on any other agenda items?
Mayor Calabrese, I had a question on 24, what we were just speaking on.
Okay, but,
Are we still in the same?
well, I thought we were going to take all public comment first, and then we'll hear from council.
Okay, that's fine.
Any public comment on any other agenda item? Okay, Deputy Mayor Sepp, go ahead, please.
Okay, I just wanted to have clarification from our engineer. So am I understanding the gentleman to say, I think he said his name was Tony Muscatello, to understand that including all of the exchange orders, that his total bid was $348,000?
I think that's the correct number, yes.
Okay, and that's including any change orders that may come up? No.
No, that number plus change orders later after you award the contract, if the contract, if those repairs, if the DEP requires us to do more than we proposed in the application, there would be additional change orders to that.
Okay, and the same goes for this contractor, for what his total bid amount was also? No.
No, there can't be any change orders in the ad alternates that we're awarding because there are no loose ends. Everything is tied up. It's a very specific scope. And so the contractor for the remaining ad alternates that we did choose to award cannot come back with a change order. Those are solid lump sum bids.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sure.
Any further question or comment from council?
Madam Mayor,
Yes,
Council.
Councilman Petrucci.
Rick, is Solely, from what I'm understanding, was he the lowest bidder?
With this arrangement of alternates, yes.
Okay.
If you look at the base bed and all the alternates, he was not.
Was everybody given equal opportunity to change it as Solely did?
There were no changes. Everybody submitted their bids. We awarded all the alternates except for the 3 that could change. And so no one made any changes. They all gave us their prices for all the alternates. And then when we redid the bid award, because we do this all the time, when we do add alternates and we select the ones that we want to implement. In this case, we wanted to implement them all, but I just thought it's too risky to implement those extra 3.
All right, I got it.
Any further question or comment from council? So Rick, although that may have been the cleanest process, was it completely fair?
Absolutely. Everybody submitted bids and all the bids, no one had a chance to change their bid by any stretch. And like I said, we awarded all the ad alternates except the 3 where we do not have approved permits. In this situation, it changed the low bidder, but there could be other combinations that would change the low bidder again. It just happened to be the 3 that we did not award because of the permit issue that it changed the low bidder.
Any further question or comment from council? So one last time, excuse me, as we move on, are there any further comment from the public on any agenda item before we move to voting? May I get a motion for resolution number 2020-22?
Mayor,
Yes, Councilman Petrucci.
I'll make a motion for resolution number 2020-22, awarding demolition of blighted and condemned structures that are residential in nature and located within the Lincoln Park neighborhood.
May I get a second?
A second?
Second.
Any comment from council? Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Sapp, Councilman Pecora,
Yes.
Mayor Calabrese,
Yes.
Councilman Petrucci,
Petrucci? Yes.
Councilman Getzey.
Yes.
The resolution passed unanimously.
May I get a motion for resolution number 2020-023?
Mayor Calabrese,
Yes, Councilman Pecora.
I'd like to make a motion for resolution number 2020-023, awarding a contract to Shields Asphalt Paving, Inc. for the 2020 multimodal road paving program in the amount of $1,346,211.51.
May I get a second?
Second.
Any comment from council? Call.
Councilman Pecora,
Yes.
Mayor Calabrese,
Yes.
Councilman Petrucci,
Yes.
Councilman Getzey,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sapp,
Yes.
motion carries.
May I get a motion for resolution number 2020-24?
Mayor Calabrese? I make a motion that we accept
Yes, Deputy
resolution.
Mayor Sapp.
I make a motion that we accept resolution number 2020-24, awarding the contract to Jet Jack Incorporated for the Penn Hills Phase 12, 2020 sewer repair contract, contract B, MH-MH lining contract in the total bid amount of $213,775.
May I get a second?
Second.
Second.
Any comment from council? Roll call.
Mayor Calabrese,
Yes.
Councilman Petrucci,
Yes.
Councilman Getzey,
Yes. Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sapp,
Yes.
Councilman Pecora.
Yes.
Resolution 24 passed unanimously.
May I get a motion for resolution number 2020-25?
Madam Mayor,
Yes, Councilman Petrucci.
I'll make a motion that we pass resolution number 2020-025, awarding contract to Solely Construction Incorporated for the Penn Hills Phase 12, 2020 sewer repair contract, contract A, excavation contract in the total amount of $303,800.
May I get a second?
Second.
Any comment from council? Roll call.
Councilman Petrucci,
Yes.
Councilman Getzey,
yes,
Deputy Mayor Sapp,
Yes.
Councilman Pecora,
Yes.
Mayor Calabrese.
Yes.
Resolution 25 adopted unanimously.
Can I get a resolution for number 2020-26?
Mayor Calabrese,
Yes, Councilman Pecora.
I'd like to make a motion that we adopt resolution number 2020-026, approving a budget amendment to the Community Development Block Grant Budget for the year 45 and CARES Act funding.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any comment from council?
Madam Mayor,
Yes, Councilman Petrucci.
I'd like to just reiterate a couple things real quick, and I don't want this misconstrued or taken out of context. I'm in support of the WPHCA funding program. I have no problems whatsoever. But with that being said, I wasn't aware of certain things, and I want them made aware to the public as of this meeting tonight. This organization provides a service to the municipality. At no additional cost, it supplies labor to assist the Penn Hills Department of Public Works. At no additional cost and labor, assist the Penn Hills Recreation Coordinator. At no additional cost, labor to assist the Penn Hills Community Development Corporation and the community garden located at 1162 Jefferson Road and the CDC project. It also provides at no additional cost labor to assist to the Penn Hills community organizations such as, but not limited to, various other government and nonprofit organizations. I just want them to be aware of it. They're also helping out with the litter pickup. Also, in this program, there has to be some type of accountability, okay? The organization needs to submit a monthly or a report on a monthly basis to the municipality on the activities that they were involved in. The report shall consist of a description of the activity along with the date and time that these young men and women work for us. I also, going back to a comment that I made at the meeting the other day, was that we should have some type of system where the money should be distributed by Mr. Blackwell. After doing some research today on this, I was curious on how the other organizations in the community are paid with their grant money. So I called Mr. Blackwell, and I was surprised to find out that my recommendation that everybody be paid on a invoice. In other words, you submit the invoice on the item. Say you go to Home Depot and you buy mulch, and you submit the invoice to Mr. Blackwell. Mr. Blackwell would then pay you. Well, that is what's going on with the rest of the organizations. Mr. Blackwell, can you elaborate on what I'm talking about?
Yes, can you hear me? I feel like last
Yep.
month I was yelling, so I'll try not to do that again. But basically, all the, if I can say, like the food pantries, the other public services give us invoices, and then we pay those invoices. And just the nature of Western Penn Hills Community Action over the years, in the beginning, they needed front money. They needed money to get the program started each year. So we would front them the money. And then we would say, you know, hey, let's before we give you say we give them $10,000. So then before we would give them the second $10,000, we would ask for receipts for the first $10,000. And as I said before, I've worked with Western Penn Hills for 26 years. So over time, it just sort of became that we would front them the money. And I think what Councilman Petrucci spoke of today was that we should go back to the way it was in the beginning, or the way the other subrecipients receive funding, which is they would have expenditures and then give us receipts, and then I would draw down the funding to reimburse them. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does, Chris. So that's my recommendation on that particular organization. Like I said, I have been perfectly in support of that organization, but there has to be some type of accountability for it.
Can I add something, Councilman Petrucci?
Sure, go ahead.
In your statement, in your request, you asked for a monthly report,
Yes, sir.
but this is only a summer program. It only lasts a few weeks for the most part. There are expenditures throughout the year for some other items, but I'm wondering if even maybe it could be monthly, but really with those receipts, when there's a pay request, we also get a report on what was done or where they stand. Does that make sense? I feel like monthly is almost not like you'll get a monthly report after the whole program's over.
Chris, you're in charge of this program from what I'm understanding. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Whatever you feel comfortable with, you do. The only thing is we just need some better accountability than we've been having, which was none.
Okay, absolutely, I can do that.
I have a quick question though, and I will open it up for comment because typically I don't go first, but I have a question. Mr. Blackwell, you know, my understanding is that every organization has to be accountable. The only question I have though, I think this organization is a little different than others, whereas other organizations may have money that they can go out and, you know, use the funds for whatever they need to. If this is just a summer program, if we don't front the money, where are they supposed to get the money and then seek reimbursement?
That's I think where it came from, where we started fronting them some money. However, I think if you look at the information I gave you the list of receipts, and this could be something that maybe it's not written in stone tonight, but if you look at the receipts, last year we gave them $22,000, and I think their invoices were maybe $30,000. So they have additional funding from somewhere. So maybe they use that funding as startup money, and then we reimburse receipts. But I think that, you know, it's clear tonight that Mayor and Council would like to fund Western Penn Hills Community Action, but they also want more accountability and more understanding of what's actually being done. So I think I can do both of those things. I can do both of those things. I can do those.
I'm not trying to be argumentative or accusatory. That was just a question I had.
Absolutely. I know, and that's a good question. And if Pastor Hunt, I don't see him on the list. If he was on the phone, you know, if he was on the list, I might ask him if that's okay. But I'm just saying that they have spent more funding than we've given them, so they have funding from somewhere.
I can answer that question. I can answer that question for you, Mayor. If you go back to his proposal that he put in for the Penn Hills Multipurpose Center, it'll tell you everybody that is a contributor to him.
I know, but I think that's a different situation. Any further comment or question from council?
Mayor Calabria?
I have a comment.
Yes, Deputy Mayor Seth.
I just want to say that I'm in agreement with everyone's accountability and not just the Penn Hills Service Association. Every person on this page, if you mandate that from one, then I'm expecting that same mandate to be placed on every single one of these persons who receive grant money from this particular grant. I'd also like to say that what we should do, I'd like to suggest that a report should be given on what the plans are as they submit a request for this money from this grant. Then we should have a request, we should have a plan submitted to us on what they plan to do with the money. Furthermore, after the programs are completed, then they should submit to us what was accomplished with the monies. I don't think that a monthly report or submitting, an invoice and then getting paid, that's just more work for Chris. We should have done our research and our homework prior to even putting these people in approval to receive the money in the first place. So not just for Penn Hills Service Association, but every single person who receives this money should have the same mandate.
Councilman Getzey?
I have a question for Chris and John Petrucci. Do you have any recommendations how this oversight will occur? Chris, would your department be doing the oversight by monitoring these activities? Or could we sit down and have a meeting as to how this will be handled, the oversight part?
Yeah, I think when you say oversight, it makes me think that there was some sort of, something was overlooked, oversight. But as far as reviewing, that's not a problem. And I think if it means fronting some of the money and then not paying more until we get the backup, I think there's a couple of different ways to do this. And the manager is going to be meeting with Pastor Hunt tomorrow. So I think he can discuss your concerns and we can work out these things, these issues. And I think Deputy Mayor, where you spoke of, you said about the Penn Hills Service Association, but all the Penn Hills Service Association, all the food pantries, they all submit invoices prior to getting funding. Western Penn Hills Community Action is the only subrecipient that gets money in advance.
Okay, and that goes for, thank you, Chris, for saying that, but that goes for the Lincoln Park Community Center, that goes for the multi-purpose center also, for their improvements, we get an invoice from them first before we give them money.
The multi-purpose center doesn't have a food pantry, or we don't front them money. There's no need, we don't front. The only places we front, these are subrecipients, so this would be Jefferson Manor Food Pantry, the Lincoln Park Community Center Food Pantry, the Penn Hills Service Association, and Western Penn Hills Community Action at this time. And everybody except Western Penn Hills gives me receipts prior to getting funding.
Wow.
Okay, and he does use this funding for the summer youth program, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
And as the mayor said, the difference is that they didn't have money to start up. Like the other, if the food pantries, they get, say, food from the Greater Pittsburgh Food Pantry, they get that in advance. They don't pay for it up front. So there are some different aspects, but they're the only one money up front.
Okay, because, to invest only $20,000 in our youth, I don't think that that's asking for a lot. I really don't think that's enough. And I'm sure that if Mr. Hunt is employing the youth for the summer, then these summer children have to get a work permit from the high school and they are on a W-2. So that's very easily to be proven. Am I right?
Oh, Reverend Hunt gives me all the information on the youth. We have their income, all those kind of, that's not an issue. We know how many hours. I get all their timesheets. I get timesheets. I get all their names and family income. I have all that information.
Okay, then that's the justification.
There's no question.
Okay.
There's no question.
I have one other question. It's really a comment. Am I on?
Yes.
I'm not asking for an answer right now, but I would like to follow the progress of how we are going to look at this and how we're going to end up funding it and putting the funds out for the activities. I'd like to be involved in at least knowing how that process is going to work as it unfolds.
I can certainly revert back to you and council. As I said, I think it starts with a conversation with Reverend Hunt tomorrow. We're meeting on some other matters. We'll discuss this.
Thank you.
Okay, so right now we are passing where he is going to be receiving the $20,000 from the grant. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any further comment from council? Roll call.
Councilman Getzey,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sapp,
Yes.
Councilman Cora,
Yes.
Mayor Calabrese,
Yes.
Councilman Petrucci.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Executive motion for resolution number 2020-27.
Mayor Calabrese.
Yes, Deputy Mayor Sapp.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve resolution number 2020-027, approving a budget amendment to the Community Development Block Grant budget for year 46.
Any comment from council? I'm sorry, make it a second.
Second.
Any comment from council? Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Sapp,
Yes.
Councilman Pecora,
Yes.
Mayor Calabrese,
Yes.
Councilman Petrucci,
Yes.
Councilman Getzey.
Yes.
Resolution 27 passed unanimously.
Make it a motion for resolution number 2020-28.
I'll make a motion for resolution number 2020-028.
Make it a second.
Second.
Any comment from council? Roll call.
Councilman Pecora,
Yes.
Mayor Calabrese,
Yes.
Councilman Petrucci,
Yes.
Councilman Getzey,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sapp.
Yes.
Resolution 28 passed unanimously.
May I get a motion for resolution number 2020-29?
Mayor Calabrese,
Yes, Councilman Pecora.
I'd like to make a motion that we adopt resolution number 2020-29, amending the Penn Hills Single Family Rehabilitation Loan Program guidelines, revising the percentage of interest charged to participants.
May I get a second?
Second.
Any comment from council? Roll call.
Mayor Calabrese,
Yes.
Councilman Petrucci,
Yes.
Councilman Getzey,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sapp,
Yes.
Councilman Pecora.
Yes.
Resolution 29 passed unanimously.
Thank you.
May I get a motion for resolution number 2020-30?
Mayor Calabrese,
Yes, Deputy Mayor Sapp.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve resolution number 2020-030, awarding a contract to Beyond Drilling Incorporated for the Lincoln Avenue Extension, STP, remediation base bid and alternate bid number 1, retaining wall insulation in the total amount of $225,125.
May I get a second?
Second.
Any comment from council? Roll call.
Councilman Petrucci,
Yes.
Councilman Getzey,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sapp,
Yes.
Councilman Pecora,
Yes.
Mayor Calabrese.
Yes.
Resolution 30 passed unanimously.
May I get a motion for resolution number 2020-31?
Madam Mayor,
Yes, Councilman Petrucci.
I'll make a motion of resolution number 2020-031, awarding a contract to A. Moranti Incorporated for the Cypress Hill and Cedarwood Drive storm sewer repair projects in the amount of $141,675.
May I get a second?
Second.
Comment from council? Roll call.
Councilman Getzey,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sapp,
Yes.
Councilman Pecora,
Yes.
Mayor Calabrese,
Yes.
Councilman Petrucci.
Yes.
Resolution 2030 passed unanimously.
Next on the agenda are items for approval, but there are no approval to be set forth tonight? Any items for consideration? Any reports from mayor or council? No one has any report?
No laundry list.
Haha, thank you. Let me just say, this is very odd that we're doing this remotely, but I'm happy that it's going pretty smoothly for us. I certainly miss being with everyone face to face. Although we've moved from green to yellow, we still have restrictions in place. And I'm sort of sad that we can't be together for the Memorial Day parade, but certainly those things take months and often even longer to get those things in order. So, but keep in mind that municipal business is still continuing. I think it's very exciting when you look at these agenda items, although they may sound boring. It's very, very, it's exciting to see the infrastructure work that we're doing. I'm so proud that our sewer system is really probably the best in the county. It's really sensational to me that our infrastructure is on track. It's sensational to me to see the work that we're doing with the sewer line, with the sewer repair. It's really, really just, I can't be more proud of the paving that we're doing. Right now, we're on track to do over $1 million this year, and this is the first installment, so to speak, for the in a 3-year installment. So I'm very, very proud of the work that we're doing. I'm very proud of our staff. I'm proud of our administration, and I'm so happy that when anybody says anything about Penn Hills infrastructure, we have it all right here. So thank you so much. May I get a motion for an adjournment?
I'll make a motion for adjournment.
May I get a second?
Second.
Second.
May I say that we have beat our own record? We have
There you
finished,
go.
we have finished this meeting under an hour. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good night.
You too.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.